Okay, y'all. Yeah, I still got this stuff on. Just don't even worry about it. Don't concern yourselves. Okay. So this is the second of the double upload, y'all. And this is gonna be another story time. And this one is gonna be about ground zero. Everybody knows what happened 9/11. Okay, y'all. So, whew, yeah, this was a lot. Now, I remember this day very plain, very clear. I was at one of my clients' houses, right? So I was doing some things for her. Had already cleaned. Now I'm fixing her something to eat before I leave her lunch. Okay, so I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking up. All I heard her say was, "Oh my gosh." And I'm thinking something is wrong with her. So I turned and I looked at her, but she was looking at the TV. So now I'm focused on the TV and saw when the plane crashed into the first building, right? I said, I'm like in shock at this point because they captured all of this on the news. And I'm like, I said, oh my gosh, but you know they always have your city's aircraft in there. And they were talking about all this terroristic stuff, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so the first building got hit, and now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what next? You know, what was happening next? What were they going to do at this point? You know, and they actually showed the whole thing, and, you know, it was a lot. So then, shortly after, the second one hit. Complete shock. I'm talking about we didn't even have the words at that point. We didn't say anything, and all I could think was, now is this happening in every major city? Are they gonna do this all over the U.S.? You know, you had no idea. One could only imagine if something else was gonna happen somewhere else. So, because my mommy worked downtown Chicago, right, I immediately got on the phone and called her. And she answered the phone, said her usual line. And I was like, I said, Mommy, I said, you okay? And she was like, yeah, girl, I'm at work. I said, no, do you know what's happening? And she said, no, what's happening? So then I told her, she was like, really? So now she got to get to a TV and see what's happening, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, that's in New York. I said, I know, but that's a major city. I said, I'm just concerned because we don't know if they're going to hit other major cities. And she was like, well, so far so good. And I was like, I'm just wondering because, you know, I'm concerned, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, well, yeah, it ain't happened here. She said, so yeah, I'm good, I'm good. I'm like, okay, I will be calling periodically, but I'm going to be watching the news. Anyway, I told her, I think you should just leave. Just go home. And she was like, girl, I ain't about to go home. I got something to do. I got work to do. I ain't finished with my stuff yet. And now, just think, this was like probably whatever time, late morning, early afternoon. She was like, girl, I still got work to do before I go home. I'm like, okay. Anyway, luckily, thankfully, and gratefully, it didn't happen nowhere else. Okay? Now, I went to New York the first time. This was in 2010, right? I'm out there with my brother, and we hanging out, doing whatever we're doing. Went by one of our uncle's spots. I think I told this before, not in the story time, just a regular lot. And where we went to go and see him, blah blah blah, whatever. So we're moving around and all of this. By some major department stores, the big name stores and stuff. Y'all know how it is in New York. And I was like, I said, how close is ground zero from here? And he was like, why? I said, because I want to go there. He said, for what? I said, I feel the need to go there. And so he was like, whatever. I was only there for, I think I was there for like 3 or 4 days the first time. So he was like, whatever. So we ended up going down there. Now, anybody that lives in a major city, a big city, right? It ain't got to be major, but a big city, a big town, wherever you live, if it's busy, I don't care if it's your area, if it's downtown or wherever it is, everybody has a busy area in their city. So it's always noisy. Bunch of people talking, walking, vehicles moving around, horns blowing, sirens going off, whether it's ambulance, fire department, or the police department. Always, just always busy, always something. Somebody working, construction, whatever. This how it was down there by Ground Zero. Nothing but noise. Well, hell, the whole city was noisy for real. Anyway, we get down there. Now, we're on the main street. But if we go this way, we're going into Ground Zero. Now, the strange part was, it's no noise. You don't hear anything. We started going in there, didn't hear a sound. It was dead silence, right? So now we're walking, walk straight back first. We can see the first building over there. Then this building was right in front of us, but those were nice house buildings. Anyway, so we walked down, then we get to the end of there, then we made a right. But the whole time, it was so quiet. It was peaceful, calming, and I said, oh my gosh, I felt every single thing that those people felt in that moment. You know, when those planes crashed into their buildings. You just gotta think about it. Big buildings and stuff like that, somebody is working on every floor. So it was like my spirit. I have an empathetic spirit. I feel things that other people feel, right? A lot of you that have the same spirit know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm like, I said, oh my gosh, I felt everything. Now, a lot of people died immediately. I'm talking about upon impact, right? Some people struggled a little bit and they passed immediately. Some people were injured, and I don't know what they were thinking. I felt what they were feeling in that moment. They were panicked. They were like, oh my gosh, because it was really bad. It was really severe. And they lasted a little bit longer, but they ended up passing. And then you got to think about the people that made it out with injuries. And then some people made it out just scared and panicked, you know, but they made it out. And those were the people that lived. Anyway, and I'm talking about for both buildings. And it was really eerie, you know, just being in that space. But you could focus, you could think, you felt whatever you felt in that space, in that time. And the whole time we were back there, you know, I was like, I said, they are definitely at peace now, you know. And my brother, he was not concerned, but he felt some stuff too. Not at first, but he was definitely concerned. He was like, wow. You know, so I don't know. He lives there. I don't know if he had ever been back there or not. But he felt something. You know, for some reason, guys are really hard. You got some women that's like that too. They act like certain things that don't affect them. But at some point, it definitely will. This looks so crazy, y'all. But, ooh, it's peeling. It's peeling. But anywho, yeah, that was an experience. It was, I don't want to say strange. I don't want to say weird, because none of those things are not to me. You know, it might be to a lot of other folks, but not to me. So, finally, you know, I started getting emotional. Y'all know I'm a big baby. So, I started getting emotional, and now we're heading on out, and I just was looking like, wow. This is where it all happened. This is where it started, you know. And it was something, you know. It was definitely an experience. I don't even know if I have words for what that was. But I just felt like I needed to be there. You know, have you ever felt like you were just truly connected to something or somebody, and you needed to be there or needed to be in that space or needed to be a part of it? It was one of those situations, you know. And I definitely felt connected to them, to those people. Y'all rest in paradise. You know, I don't get it. I can't say, oh, well, you know, I understand. I never will. I understand the initial action, you know, but it was senseless for all of those people, you know, to go, to meet their demise that way. You know, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I know they were scared to death. Scared to death, you know. It is what it is, y'all. This is so many years later, you know. But a lot of us still think about particular things. Okay, y'all. So, anywho, let me finish this out and then I'm gonna go. So now we're coming out, and now we're going again closer to the corner where we started from, going into that space in the first place, right? So we're coming out now, still not hearing anything until when we got all the way out and we were on the corner on that busy street. That's where all the noise and stuff started again. I'm like, wow, that was something else. So it was meant for me to be there. I was supposed to be there. I'm thankful and I'm grateful. Thank you, Lord. Just for experiencing that. Yeah. Anywho, then we carried right along. And it was kind of tough, though, I think, trying to get back to a normal day, a regular day. At that point, I didn't even want to do anything further. We ended up going back to the house. That was the end of that. Okay. Anywho, y'all, that's going to conclude this story time, y'all. And I'm going to see y'all for the next one. Bye.